Then they have to go alphabetically.
Just looking around the room, you can see Fred Vail has lived one incredible life. And Fred will tell you all of that starts from one date, Friday, May 24th, 1963. But we're going to start a bit before that. At his high school in Sacramento, California, Fred had this title.
Commissioner of Entertainment.
He was so good at it that when Fred was in college, he was asked to plan a grad party in 1963. Tickets would be $1.75. Fred was looking to book this one act. 3 brothers, a cousin, and a friend who had a few records that made it onto the charts. He called the William Morris Agency.
William Morris, Beverly Hills. I want to book the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys? I haven't heard of the Beach Boys.
The show was set Friday, May 24th, 1963. Right around the time of Fred's booking, the Beach Boys released a single and album called Surfin U.S.A. The group was exploding. Fred picked them up from the airport for the show and told them he was the promoter.
But you're just a kid like us.
And from that important date, Fred became involved in the Beach Boys' life on the road. So Fred became the group's concert promoter. These are tickets to one of those early shows, and they were playing everywhere, including Nashville's Municipal Auditorium. No matter where you lived in America, you were hearing the Beach Boys' music. Fred was who suggested doing a live album. It's his voice that introduces them.
The fabulous Beach Boys.
And in the middle of all of it, Fred was coming to know the genius of group member Brian Wilson.
I was the first person outside of the musicians to hear Pet Sounds front to back.
By 1969, Fred was the Beach Boys' manager. He had an interest in the kind of music coming out of Nashville, coming out of the Opry.
So I would have the country station on in the car when I picked them up at the airport. They didn't want to hear country, so they'd switch it to the rock and roll station, and I'd switch it back to the country station. It kind of became a gag, you know.
But the group heard Fred singing and knew he could do country. That gave Brian an idea.
Well, Fred, I want to do a country album. What? Yeah, I want to do a country album.
With Fred doing the singing, in 1970, he and Brian did a series of country recordings. They've become known to fans as the Cows and the Pasture album. Fred says Brian lost interest in the project, and it remains unreleased. Fred had practically forgotten about those sessions when he got a call from producer Sam Parker. They met at this Franklin Starbucks.
He said, whatever happened to the Cows and the Pasture album? And I said, well, funny you should ask. I got the tapes in my garage. And he said, what? Sam just about spilled his coffee. He couldn't believe it.
Working with Sam, there's a plan to release some things maybe next year. They're working to get out a documentary about the album and finish Cows in the Pasture at Fred's Treasure Isle studio with the help of special guests. Fred's collaboration with Brian would be released after more than 55 years.
Last time I saw Brian was December. By that time, it was pretty well acknowledged that he was suffering from dementia and/or Alzheimer's. I said to the baby boomers of the world, Brian Wilson is the Mozart, the Bach, the Beethoven.
With the death of Brian Wilson, Fred is hoping his friend will get a solo induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
As a songwriter, as a singer, as an innovator, every moment of every day, fans all over the world are playing a Beach Boy or Brian Wilson song. May 24th, 1963, the first Beach Boy concert. That changed my life.
I'm Forrest Sanders, News Channel 5.